Today I'll be having a discussion with Peter Roach about the various nuances of various British football chants. And the background for this one is the footballer they're discussing, Adam Johnson, was arrested and jailed for a few years for sexual misconduct allegations for raping a 15-year-old. So this one's him just going on, and it's ridiculous how we're just culturally aware the Brits are of culture.
Yeah, I mean, it's soccer, football is such a ingrained thing into their culture and society. So it is pretty well known that when these things happen, you have a vast knowledge of them and how then that it can affect the work, I guess, of the audience members. Yeah.
And this one was the exact same thing, but just a different situation.
Yeah, so it's interesting that they're taking other music songs with beats and rhythms and melodies and putting their own words to them, right? And so you can hear kind of the main tune that they're using for some of this creativity, I guess you could say, in what they're saying, yeah, on these chants, yeah.
It seems like for the first one, it almost sounded like a kid's nursery rhyme, with like the da 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 da.
Yeah, and that's very common to actually use similar melodies and similar song structures, and then just use different lyrics in those tunes, right? Where it's very common in tons of folk traditional music, things like that, which I'm not sure we're there with these chants in terms of being folk music, but a lot of similarities between folk music passed down orally and or telling a story of where culture and society is. Many of these are telling the story of where the culture and society is at this time, but using some of that information of these melodies and tunes that are ingrained in commonplace musical knowledge. It's interesting, yeah.
Seems like this one, they're getting mad at the ref for them giving a foul to the wrong player, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked about this slightly before as we preface this. It's interesting to see the number of people who come up with these things and the chanting as a whole, and how quickly it becomes a huge group thing versus one or two people who do these. Yeah. And that can be really good. It can also be very scary and has led to a lot of other terrible things, right? Especially around football where, there's been attacks and it can be negative and overwhelming when all of a sudden you have hundreds to thousands of people chanting the same thing or saying the same thing or having these feelings to pursue kind of the same idea. Yeah.
Yeah, like how it's like the football fans, they all can like come up with the exact same chant and then sing it all at the same time in key, and like it's ridiculous.
And that's, like I said, I think back to our previous point where it's like, because you're using these melodies that have been ingrained from these old folk songs and tunes or children's tunes, or even super popular, like even using a Beatles tune or something like that where they're very well known, the melodies are known, it's very easy then to like have this spread because it's just new lyrics on top of a melody or a pulsing rhythm that everybody already knows. Yeah.
This is like in this one, they're just roasting this channel.
Yeah, yeah. And that's pregame when there's not a lot of people in the stadium and it's still very loud and powerful, yeah. It does go to show the power of a group of people and what can be done and said, yeah.
And like one thing interesting about Sky TV is recently, after I believe it was a Man U game against I forget the team, but it was the Man U's new manager Ruben Normo. It was his first game, and then in his post-game interview on Sky TV, Ed Sheeran was able to just burst in and then interrupt it, which I can understand. The fans went balls nuts after that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess if it was anybody other than Ed Sheeran, maybe it would have been harder. But yeah,
Absolutely. Seems like in this one, they're just roasting the people who are watching it on the TV.
Oh,
and don't
yeah.
want to shell out with the whatever, like 30, 40 quid to go see the game.
Yeah, that one, that's crazy. That's hard too, though. It is hard to get to the game sometimes, especially these stadiums being so sold out. So sometimes that's a little harsh when you can't find a ticket because it's you almost can't, in some of these stadiums. But yeah,
like I want to go to England sometime, and I'd love to see a Man U game, but the chances of trying to get a ticket there a couple days before is going to be little to none, especially with it being Old Trafford.
Yes, it's very difficult to get into these games as a whole, and especially in a short period of knowledge. So yeah. All right, what do we got next?
Let's see. It's like in this one, the fans are just making their own entertainment.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially how it piggybacks with that many people getting right onto it, considering they adjusted to what was happening in the stands, right? Like that one wasn't preemptive, it doesn't seem. It happened in the moment, which is, again, another side of the creativity. Not necessarily the best creativity in the world in terms of the subject matter, but the creativity of a group of people coming together to be able to do this, all changing their topic pretty instantly. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Seems like in like that first one there, that's them just roasting the stadium for being under construction.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Yeah, it's very small and tiny in there. And you notice there, it's almost, again, if I come back to the music teacher, music person in me, that's almost like a call and response system, right? Which is very common in a lot of this. It still takes one, maybe two people to be the point person to start these chants. And then it's amazingly scary, but amazing how quickly a group of people can get on board with this. Yeah. And then this one, same. So the last one, similar, not to keep coming to it, but you can hear the melodies and the rhythms that come back from previous things, right? Like Adam's Family here on this one. Very common to hear that used as the backbone for them roasting a player on this team. Yeah.